Welcome to Floating Leaf Tea Podcast. My name is Showen.
And I'm Noah. We're recording 2 episodes in one day because we're heading out to go on our trip pretty soon. We want to make sure everything is ready for you guys so we don't skip any weeks. So a little bit extra tea high this session.
Which will be fun. And then this session, we will continue from the previous episode on the structure of a scent and the structure of a tea broth. And last episode, if you guys listened to it already, we compare a Dongting fragrant, a lightly oxidized Dongting, and a Dongting traditional, a Dongting tea that has been oxidized just a little bit more, and then medium roasted. Whatever you perceive, what I think is a better tea, I do prefer Dongting traditional because there's more puffiness in the structure and there's more the scent goes a bit further as well. But I'm in no ways to tell people that roasted tea is better. And so today, or darker roasted tea is better. So today we are going to use actually another lighter tea to go against the Dongting traditional again.
Sounds
and
good.
See I mean, if you really have to ask me which tea I like better, I guess in the end I will tell you. But my goal is not to have information or have a really strong message to tell people that roasted tea is better, okay? Or darker roasted tea is better.
Today, we're looking at the power of light tea.
The power of a light tea.
That could be the name of the episode.
So today we are going to use Alishan High Mouhtain Oolong and lightly roasted.
Oh, that's the one you wanted to drink. Okay, cool.
Oh, which one do you think?
No, that sounds great. I thought you were talking about the Yunnan Oolong, Wuban.
Oh, okay. 这个是50.
50.
So we are going to use a lightly oxidized oolong from Alishan, but lightly roasted by our teacher, Mr. Zhan, and to go against our Dongting traditional, which is supposed to oxidize just a little bit more, and the roast is stronger. And to see, to compare the structure.
Yeah.
You know, there's not even to the end compare which tea is better, but just to compare.
What they both do, right?
Yeah, what they both do. And also today we're going to use 2 white bowls that look like, the size look like a rice bowl, maybe a little bit smaller than rice bowl.
Like a rice bowl for a small person.
Okay. And I think they are roughly about 150 millimeters, and we just put about, I didn't actually measure the tea. I say today I should put 4 grams. I think 3 grams of raw tea it's just not a lot of tea for the bowl style. So I think roughly about 4 grams of tea. And what is bowl style? Please just listen to the beginning of the last episode.
Or look up grandpa style online. I mean,
okay.
it's kind of like that.
Kind of like that, but with a spoon.
Yeah, basically I calling it cereal bowl style last time.
Oh, it's gonna stick.
I hope so.
It's gonna stick because
I like
there's
it.
like grandpa style, which it doesn't exist in Asia. So even though the name come out of in Hong Kong, but yeah, okay, let's not talk more about that. Sorry.
Anyway, cereal bowl style.
Cereal bowl style.
You got hot water, you got tea in the same bowl, and then a spoon to siphon off the liquid.
But don't go to Asia and say you want to find
Cereal bowl style.
Cereal bowl style.
They will
okay.
think you're very weird. You can tell them that I made it up, and then they will say, "Who?"
And they will not know who that is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much you explain it.
Yeah, never heard of a floating leaf tea, and never heard of Noah.
Especially haven't heard of Noah.
Never heard of Showen. So here you go. Okay, and then let's do it. The outline is more like last time too. Okay, so I just pour hot water into 2 bowls of tea. One is Alishan High Mouhtain Oolong. Sorry, we don't have this tea on the website because we really don't have the quantity. It's not our regular Alishan actually. And then
It's
second
a special
one,
noon-picked Alishan.
yeah. So anyway, we don't have a lot of quantity on this tea, so we don't put it on the
Yeah,
website.
but we just call it noon-picked Alishan.
Non-pick Alishan.
Really light charcoal roast, so you can't really taste the roast. Actually, the fragrant Dongting may have been lightly roasted too with electricity. Who knows?
Yeah. So the same thing, soak it with hot water until the leaves pretty much open up, and then use that soup spoon porcelain soup spoon, and then go in and then smell. Well, touch the broth, decant the broth, and then just an empty spoon will attach a lot of smell. So first round, the same. Smell what it actually smell like.
Just like smelling the bottom of the cup when you drink your tea. It's just like when the broth evaporates, it'll create more scent.
Yeah, so it smells the Alishan High Mouhtain Oolong, non-peak Alishan High Mouhtain Oolong smell. Also some high notes.
Yeah, we're just talking about the notes right now, huh?
Yeah, some high notes. If you can go into what is specific smell like, I'm really bad at that, so I'm not going to elaborate. It smells like a gardenia flower, for example. I'm really bad with those things.
It's floral, though.
It's floral and something high, light and high. Yeah. And then...
A little bit like milk candy, too.
Milk candy? So maybe it's ginseng varietal.
Maybe.
Let me see. Very interesting. And then second cup will be our Dongting traditional egg. And the scent smell roasted and cooked vegetables, just like last time. But the toastiness is actually quite last, this one. But last time, we soaked it for a long time before we even went to smell because we had some technical problem. And so the tea basically was soaked for like 10 minutes before we went on to talk about the episode. And so this one is just probably soaked for 1.5 minutes so far.
Yeah, so cooked vegetables, also fruit again, more like pit fruits.
Pit fruit, yeah.
Stone fruit.
Okay. And just like last episode, after you nail down with this, you can think about the growing method. You can think about the processing. You can think about the varietal if you are really good at that. And then the second round, please pick up the soup spoon again. And if you brew tea, then just smell the surface of your tea broth. You can do it that way too. And smell if you can see a shape of the bouquet and if you can see where it's going. And so that this Alishan High Mouhtain Oolong is really soft, really thin, and it passed the nostril and it has a feeling that I have no idea where it's going. It's like escaping from me. Even the scent tried to escape from me today.
Actually, when I was first smelling it, and you started talking about notes, and I realized we're supposed to be talking about notes for the first one. Mm-hmm. I felt like it was like a cloud.
Yeah. It's like it's just floating, and it's very interesting.
But it is. It's not big, thick, heavy notes.
It's a light tea.
It's thinner, more delicate notes, but they're really they reach really far.
Yeah.
But they expand in a different way than the Dongting does.
Yeah. Because if you notice last round on the Dongting fragrant, it's like the processing technique is very similar. And the Dongting fragrant is a more basic tea. It's a good tea basic. And it's just very straightforward. You can see the line very clearly.
And it's more like one line.
Single line. And this one is more like you don't know where to graze.
How many lines there are. It's like, really expansive.
And it's very soft. And then let's go into the Dongting traditional. The line is thick. You can actually detect a line because it's thick and also pass beyond the nostril. And the line also very clearly, if you can see where it's going in the head, you can see it pretty clear. And there is a expansion. And then the Alishan one is like, it's really hard to know where it's going. And yet the presence is there.
I guess it is like the traditional is more like one line, but it's one line that it expands. It gets bigger actually as you breathe it in.
Yeah, it gets bigger, yeah.
So it does bloom in a way, but it's not a bunch of separate, things happening all at once. Mm-hmm.
And then
really sturdy.
The tea probably have been soaked for at least 5 minutes, 10?
Actually, yeah, about 8 or 10 minutes now.
Okay, cool. And then the same thing. Use a soup spoon to scoop out some tea broth into your own cup. And then first cup, maybe just focus on what it tastes like, the flavor of a tea. On this Alishan, young fruit for me. And then after I swallow the tea, then the high, almost citrus related kind of a flavor show up.
Yeah, like crispy apple or citrus or those kind of more bright fruit feelings. A little bit floral. A little bit floral.
Dongting traditional taste. Toasted, almost like toasted soybeans today. Yeah.
Let me try.
And with some stir-fried vegetables mixed up together. When I think about food, I think about Asian food. So, of course, that's where I grew up, huh?
Here you go. More like roasted vegetables in the oven with butter? No, I don't miss butter.
No, but there is that buttery feeling.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But yeah, it tastes like cooked vegetables, like plump cooked vegetables. More like zucchini than like a piece
more
of
like
spinach.
zucchini. Yeah.
And then there's a fruitiness there. There's a toasted grain kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then the second cup on the texture, just identify the same thing. Light towards medium, medium towards heavy, super heavy, too heavy, can't stand it. Too light, can't feel a damn thing, or whatever.
Talking about the weight of the tea broth. This one is actually, I think I said this last episode, is really fun to do with people. What's the weight of the tea broth when you feel it in your mouth?
Because a lot of times when I start to mention tea texture, people just like give me a question look, like what? And so before we go look at a shape, let's look at the weight. And I think weight, everybody can feel it. And if you still feel a little bit confused with this, you have experience, trust me. And if you are already a drinker, think of lager versus, if you already drink beer, for example, think of lager versus, what is that dark thing? Sorry. Stout. Here you go.
Or if you have this experience, you could think about Guinness as a stout versus maybe your local stout that's really thick. Yeah, because Guinness is actually a pretty light beer, but it just has more dark notes. Just like a black tea has dark notes, but it's not necessarily a heavy tea.
True. And so you can actually detect a weight pretty...
Or you could do a Belgian, like a heavy Belgian beer versus a lager.
And then if you are not beer drinker...
sorry.
Coffee, stop talking about beer. Coffee, South American coffee versus Sumatra coffee, for example. If you like... no, I also don't drink coffee. Then you can think about juice.
Yeah.
Do you drink juice? You can think about some of the juice, like watermelon will be, I think, on the lighter side when you make it into a juice. And then you can think about some fruit that may be...
Have you had pure cranberry juice? That's heavy.
Oh, okay. Here you go. That's actually not drinkable on itself. It's like a medicine. Yeah. And then if you drink soup, then you can think about pho, noodle soup versus your biscuit, cream biscuit.
Oh, bisque.
Oh, sorry, bisque.
Yeah, like or like a beef stew versus a pho broth.
Yeah, something like that. So think about those things that you can detect. You can detect pretty well on heavy versus light.
Or even like a vegetarian broth versus a bone broth, and you can start to feel,
here you go.
What's the difference?
Okay, so this one, the Alishan High Mouhtain Oolong, pick and noon. Let's see, the weight.
Medium,
yep.
Pretty like straight
clear.
Medium.
Yeah, straight medium.
Yeah. It's a little bit heavier than the Dongting fragrant was.
Yeah.
Not by much, though.
Not by much. And then the Dongting traditional, medium towards heavy. Like there's a heavy weight on this tea because of the roast.
Yeah, heavier than the Alishan for sure.
Yeah, heavier than the Alishan. And the color shows too. If you look at the color, the Alishan is kind of jade green towards light gold, and then Dongting is brown gold.
Almost approaching orange a little bit.
Yeah, orange brown gold.
Heavier.
And then the third one. What did we do on the third one last time?
Oh yeah. Okay, so there's a.
So there's the flavor, and there's the weight.
Oh,
and
watch how it spreads, right?
How it spread on your tongue, okay?
Yeah.
I normally don't break it down like this. That's why I don't remember. So I just go for it, the overall feeling. So third infusion or third cup, I guess we don't count this as infusion. When it's like have cup full, I just fill it with more boiling water.
Yeah, getting close to 20 minutes in the bowl.
Yeah. And then the Alishan one, let's see how it spread in the tongue. Beautiful. No effort. No effort. There's no effort. It's
a really soft spreading, but it spreads all the way.
Yeah, it doesn't
Roof
even.
of the mouth, no
it doesn't.
problem.
In a way, it doesn't spread. It just like here
It's
I
just
am.
there.
Boom.
Yeah.
Underneath the tongue, on the top of the tongue, on the top of the roof, but very soft. All the presence about this tea broth is it cover every part of the mouth in a really soft way, and it doesn't even need to spray. Almost like it connect to the sand, and it's like a cloud.
Yeah.
Why do I need to spray then?
You can't even tell when it starts to spread. It just is there.
It's just there.
Yeah.
And so this one also then, in a way, I don't know if you noticed in the last episode, we talked about the speed of a tea. What a tea can do in a speed way, like slow motion, or in a really fast way. Like sometimes it's so fast you cannot even detect it. Or you detect it, but you can count it. 1, 2, 3, you can still see the speed. This one is like, okay, I don't try.
Yeah.
This tea broth is give me a feeling that I don't need to try. I am here, and I just have that puffiness, And then let's look at Dongting traditional. Where is it covering the tongue in a way, or the mouth, overall inside of the mouth? Also have that presence. It doesn't need to try very hard. A little bit.
It is. It's a little bit more tough. It's like
a little bit trying,
Yeah.
but it's a tough tea.
Yeah.
It's a
very strong tea.
It's a strong, and it's a kind of on the rough side. It has a really wonderful strong.
But at least you can watch it. You can see where it's going. You can watch the movement pretty clearly.
Yeah.
Whereas the Alishan, you almost don't see, and it's already all over your mouth. This one you can kind of see. Oh, it hits the tongue, spreads the cheeks, goes up to the roof of the mouth, and the below the tongue a little bit. There. And it's a thick movement.
Yeah.
You can feel it. It's like a coarse way of moving.
Yeah.
Whereas the Alishan's very fluffy.
Yeah. But at least it moves.
Oh, it moves. Yeah, it moves.
It moves.
I mean, a tea that moves.
When some tea doesn't move, then it will be more like they say one-dimensional, more use a better word, simple.
Yeah.
And this one, Dongting, will be a tea that you can see it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Dongting traditional tea is a wonderful tea to watch the tea presence, and it's big enough you can actually see it.
This is an excellent teacher tea. I call this
this tea is great. I
teacher.
always do this tea with in a tea class, and people can really see the shift. And it's a wonderful tea to bring onto the table to let people start to notice the shift in a really clear way. Like its presence is so big that you cannot like not notice the tea. Yeah, I love Dongting tea for this reason. Yeah. Okay, and then the next one, let's see its dimension.
Yeah, start to watch that third dimension show up.
Third dimension, or even more dimension that you can imagine.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I don't know how many dimensions are there. So let's do the Alishan first. If you can hold a piece of cloud in your mouth, I would say it would be this, or hold a good piece of what is it, marshmallow.
The really, really soft one,
Really
though.
soft marshmallow, and don't even think about the sugar part.
Or like a meringue, like a good meringue, that puffiness.
Yeah, it's seriously, this tea most strikingly is on the effortless part. Like it doesn't need to show you, it doesn't need to demonstrate how good it is. It's just that I am puffy. I don't need to do it. I am. I don't do. I am. Wow. And let's do Dongting traditional to see its dimension.
I'm still feeling that
I know.
cloud. That feels really good.
It also puff up, and it got to do it a little bit. The tea has to do the puff for you a little bit.
Feels like a hydraulic, like you can feel. It's it's a little bit more mechanical.
Yeah, which is also very
which
good.
Which is great, yeah, and
It's
actually
great.
really important to, I mean, for my personal tea journey, it was really important to learn from teas like this.
Yeah, to actually learn the movement before you can actually not to need to know where they are coming from, and you can feel it. That actually takes a little bit practice. And if you guys do any of exercise, yoga, Tai Chi, first when we start to learn how to move, we got to watch somebody move and try to imitate how they are moving. And then later you can move it in a more connected way. And later you might actually have a teacher who can just like show you a movement and you feel it's so beautiful. You can still see it. And then if you do the interaction one, that is the teacher can maybe throw somebody else on the floor and you don't know actually what happened. Like the speed is so fast and you don't know where the energy is coming from, and the person will be on the floor. For example, this kind of a phenomenon, I would say it's more, I mean, this tea is not trying to throw anybody. The Alishan, but it has the power of you don't know where the energy is the source of that puffiness is coming from. It just is that way.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really beautiful to me. But in other words, in a different way, is the Dongting traditional will be a better tea to learn, I would say. Yeah, because sometimes when you are not there yet, and then when you hit a tea, like they say this Noon Peak Alishan, you might feel like, so what's the big deal about this
The lightly
tea?
oxidized tea, it tastes good, but
It tastes good. Nothing is happening.
Yeah.
But you don't, the thing is not you. I don't know. Maybe I would say 10 years ago, I might not know how good this tea is because my capacity is not there yet.
Yeah.
And so always, keep learning and keep prepping yourself. Aim high. But remember, you got to step the first step before you can get there. And for me, tea and my tea journey, my martial art journey is that I am so eager to be there. And yet every day I have to remind myself, step one, what do I need to practice? With my tea too, I want to be amazing like my tea brewing teacher. Okay, step one, what do I need to practice? Sometimes it's mechanics. Sometimes it's watching the water. Sometimes it's practice the mind. All those things.
that's the hardest part. It's so hard to do that every day, but it's the only way to improve, I think.
Yeah. But anyway, we are a little bit off the subject.
Yeah. So
And then there's
fun to watch both these teas.
Yeah, and then the fourth cup, there's try to see the length of the broth when you start to swallow the tea.
The angle.
The angle. If it has an angle, who is leading who? Does it move beyond the throat area? And we'll just stop right there, okay? As I say in the previous recording, I would like to focus in the texture a couple more episodes. Kind of let's get all grounded before we try to fly with our tea. And when you guys are all ready, someday I will take you flying with my teas. I call them dragon teas. And it's really fun. If you don't know what that means, you can seriously fly with your tea without doing psychedelics, by the way. So this next infusion or next cup, Alishan High Mouhtain Oolong, peak at noon time. Let's see how the broth is moving. The moment it hit the mouth, the moment you decide to swallow it, how is it moving? Can it move? It move. Trust me, go into your stomach, okay? Don't spit it out. It moves without effort. It's like gliding down.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing into the throat.
Yeah. It just glides down. Okay, Dongting traditional it also passes through the throat really well, but it takes, just like in the mouth texture, it takes a little bit movement, effort. It's the tea have to try.
I think it's a more angular
movement. Also more angular. You can see really clearly.
You can see the path that it's taking, and it's got harder edges. You can say it that way.
It's almost like those, how do you say those things that kids play? A slide. Here you go, 溜滑梯. Some 溜滑梯 has some slides have a very clear angle.
Oh,
it's like this tea.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And so sometimes if you listen to me talking about this tea in the shop, I say it's like try to shovel it into your throat. I mean, it sounds really bad, right? It's actually really fun for me. I mean, physically, I won't do that to anybody or food that anybody have to shovel like food into my throat. But in tea broth, you almost feel like it's just like gathering at your throat, and then just like I'm moving down. Mm-hmm. And there is an angle. Yeah. There is a very strong angle.
It's got defined edges, whereas the Alishan is
it's very smooth.
Almost you can't see where the edges are.
Yeah, there's no edge. It's everything about this Alishan is very smooth. Everything about it is puff, it's puffiness, it's softness, its presence feel in every single corner. And so it doesn't need to do because its presence is that way. So if you can watch, if you have to really break it down into the movement in a way, in a slow motion, then you'll be like, I'm puffy. So no matter where I am moving into, I'm puffy. And I'm very soft and very smooth. So puffy. And then from the mouth to the throat to the, and there will be to the body, then there will be a different subject that in the future that will talk about that route as well. Yeah. When the tea passes the throat, how does it reach to your body and what is the presence? Those will be really fun stuff to discover. And I hope you guys think this is really useful. It is useful and fun. Okay,
You can do this with any tea. You can do this with any tea. It's endlessly fascinating to do this.
Yeah.
And you don't have to you have to do it in steps. You can do it in steps like this. It makes it pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But noticing this kind of stuff, is essential.
And then if you cannot detect it, please don't get frustrated or don't think you are inadequate or anything. Just keep going at it. Sometimes, something will just show up and it will just hit you.
I've said this before, and I've practiced with this Dongding traditional seriously for I think 2 full years of drinking it almost every single day, the same tea, and I was trying to figure out what the heck Sean was talking about, and I still feel like I can see it more. I could see it more clearly. I'm starting to see it pretty clearly now, but it took me a long time, and the whole process is fun. You're drinking tea. It's not like you're like breaking your knuckles against concrete or something. You're drinking tea.
Yeah. So make it
practice.
Yeah, make it fun. Yeah. And if you want to go further, if you don't want to do this, then just drink tea. It's fun anyway, and it tastes good. It feels good. And if you want to get further with this, practice this. And seriously, you will hit some moments. I think it will be super frustrating.
And you hit some moments when it's like,
super beautiful. Yeah. And so, as I said before too, try to drink tea with people. Like what I can sense and what other people can sense are, it can be so different. And I keep learning from you guys who ever drank tea with me, because you guys look at tea differently, and there's so much I can learn. So you can learn from other people who, unfortunately, we got to do it long distance like this. You kind of just hear my voice. My ideal way would be you are sitting right in front of me, and then we can all share this cup of tea together. To talk about these things are easier when I am right in front of you. And to have a tea also that we drink together rather than just everything is so verbal. But this is what we could do right now to reach out to you and for you to connect to us as well.
And play with it and think about these ideas. And if you have other tea drinkers in your area, seriously,
reach out to them.
Yeah. Reach out, drink tea together, and see what they think about this, and see if you how you can grow together.
And so use these opportunities more like explore, discover your tea, discover yourself in a way. And it's so fun and so challenging. And I love it. So please, communicate back with us to see if you like this kind of sessions. So that I don't feel like I'm talking to a wall. And because after all, tea is about communication, I think. And so, reach out to us, write us an email, message us questions or feedback, etc., etc.
I think if you want to ask questions, totally, if you feel comfortable, ask questions by email, private message us. Also, feel free to public message us on Facebook or Instagram. Then get the conversation going so more people can join in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally.
But yeah, just let us know what you think, what you're thinking about, and ask questions.
Perfect. So happy tea drinking.
Yeah. And check out our website. Tell people about the podcast. All that good stuff.
And then that's it.
That's it.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
We'll see you
next Monday.
Someday.
Some Monday.
Yeah, some Monday or virtually. No, visibly. I don't know.
Virtually?
Yeah, in front of me. Happy tea drinker.
Bye-bye.
Bye.